Nation? Hope you are having an awesome Tuesday. My name, of course, is Philip DeFranco, and this is where I talk about newsy type stuff and things that matter to me today. And Nation, the first thing I want to talk about today is a big update in the Ohio University sexual assault case. You might remember there were photos and video on the interwebs of two people getting it on right in front of a bank. The next day after the video came out, the woman filed a complaint of sexual assault. This started much debate on the interwebs whether this was sexual assault or not. Then some laptop gangsters decided, we're gonna find this woman and put out her information. And they did so on the wrong woman. Then we didn't hear much until today. A grand jury quietly determined there was no probable cause for charges against the man. And according to a police investigation, the way the situation went down, the two OU students had been drinking together, they left after close, and were seen making out in multiple places. And then, quote, at approximately 3 a.m., they stopped in front of Chase Bank where the male performed sex acts on the female. The female was responsive, smiling, and grabbed the back of the male's head. At one point, the male asked the female if he should stop because they were building a crowd. The female answered no. This was confirmed by an independent witness that was on the scene. Then, after this, they went to the male student's apartment till 6:30 in the morning, followed by being seen at a BP gas station around 7 o'clock. The female was still responsive. The guy gave the girl his cell phone number via text message, and what it seems we have today is a false sexual assault accusation. And so this turns into a whole different fucked up situation because false rape accusations are a whole different beast than the terrible act of rape itself, but it actually hurts other rape victims more. Because you're not only hurting the person that you're just throwing under the bus falsely, you're hurting all the women that file legitimate rape claims and even those who are too scared to file them. Because at the end of the day, what you have is this very scary gray line area where people are shouting, you can't say yes if you're drunk. Which when you see stories of like frat bros going like, just pump that chick full of beer and she'll be good, you understand that argument there, but with two drunk people that seem to just be into each other the entire night, and the day after someone's embarrassed, ashamed, so they file a complaint to save face, and it's like, you're fucking with people's lives. I feel like it's actually at this point that my friend has a brother in college. I'm buying them this thing called the breathometer, which is a breathalyzer you plug into your iPhone. And if it's even a question that this girl could potentially be like too drunk, I'm gonna be like, before you bring that girl back, have her take the breathalyzer, take a picture of that. Also maybe throw in her ID so you know she's legal. Then have her sign a contract that she understands what's going to happen, and there's also like a non-disclosure agreement in there. I'm so glad I'm never gonna have to deal with shit like this. So those are just some of my thoughts on that. I just try to treat ladies with respect and act in public like my parents will find out. That's it. It seems simple enough. Then, Nation, because we're going into the holiday season with your Thanksgivings, your Hanukkahs, your Christmas, what have you, you or those you know coming to you will be on a plane possibly in the near future. And because of that, you might be interested in the new report that 381 TSA employees have been fired for stealing from passengers. Then, what's even better is ABC News goes, hey, we should do an investigative report. Let's fly from one place to the other. They have $500 in free cash, iPads, high-value items in the bags they checked, and at 10 separate TSA checkpoints, they left one of their iPads. At 9 out of 10 of those TSA checkpoints, they did what they're supposed to do. They say, hey, you left your item, come back. But in Orlando, that was not the case. This guy was the last guy seen touching it. And then, just a quick note to the world. Do we live in a world where people don't realize that people can track their eye products? Find My Phone is the best app in the world. They use said app. They find it at the guy's house. He's shocked that this magic iPad followed him home. It's like a Pixar movie. The iPad came back to life and is trying to bring our family together. All because you're a dirty, dirty, stupid thief. Ramirez, as you would expect, no longer works for the TSA, who say they have a zero-tolerance policy. Does anyone really feel safe because of the TSA? The last time I went through TSA, I was in New York flying back home. I just remember the guy not even like really looking at my ID, but then making a very weird comment about needing to find a man with my kind of hair so he can tug it. And I don't mean offense to everyone, because I've met TSA employees who are like fans of the show or just, normally competent human beings. But there is kind of this weird general feeling that 50% of the people working there like failed the manager test at McDonald's and they were like, well, I guess I'll have to work at the TSA. But anyway, just consider that a Philly D PSA that someone might steal your shit, so be careful. And from there, let's jump into Today in Awesome, presented by HostGator.com. Get a sweet.net domain, have 24/7 365 support over phone, chat, and email. Move your site over free, and if it was not cheap enough already, use coupon code PHILLYD to save 30% off of hosting and domains. The brand new trailer for X-Men Days of Future Past came out, and it looks awesome. them. Loved X-Men First Class, hated the first Wolverine movie, kind of enjoyed the second one. I'm very excited to see what we get out of this movie. I trust in the director. Then for our lovely lady of the day gallery, we have Sheridan Fisher, model, actress, creative director, and member of the Nation. We love her face and think you will too. And the last bit of this is a video someone from the Nation sent me, which was a gamer grandma playing Grand Theft Auto 5, and it's amazing. You think like, oh, grandma's playing a video game, she's gonna be out of her depth.
Oh, this is it! Die, die, die!
Not the case, and I really hope this is not the last of the videos we shall see from you, Grandma. If you want to check that, any of the other Today in Awesome, or anything else I talk about, links to that down below. Then, in news that might answer the question, why the hell did Google buy Motorola? Motorola has announced something called Project Aura, and this project sounds a lot like something we talked about on SourceFed.com a while ago, and that was phone blocks. Same general idea. What would it look like if you could just fully customize your phone? And do not fret, because it should be noted that Google didn't just go, hey, that's a cool idea, let's steal it. In fact, Motorola has teamed up with the guy behind the phone blocks concept. Instead of buying one phone, you could buy components for one device. All of it, according to Motorola, wrapped up in an endoskeleton that protects all the pieces. So instead of every 1 to 2 years having consumers upgrade an entire phone, what if they just want a better camera or a faster processor? Maybe instead of the default sound, you want Bose or by Dre, effectively opening up a new third-party market. It's interesting. I'm very, very skeptical of it as of right now, but with Google buying and possibly being behind this, hey, it could work and be awesome. Obviously, we're living in an age where technology advances quickly, standards may change quicker than ever, but it could be the difference between upgrading every 1 to 2 years and maybe every 4 to 6 years. So who knows? You hope for innovation, and then the real world smacks it in the face, and we see if it works at all. And for the last thing I want to talk about today, let's look at the United States and the White House. Last time we looked at the White House, the government shutdown ended, Obama was strutting around, but it seems that has not been long-lived, because Obamacare, specifically the website where you apply and get everything handled, was glitchy as all hell. In fact, it was so bad, Marilyn Tavenner, the head of Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, who is in charge of the Obamacare website, formally apologized for this nightmarish start, saying, "We know that consumers are eager to purchase this coverage, and to the millions of Americans who have attempted to use healthcare.gov to shop and enroll in healthcare coverage, I want to apologize to you that the website has not worked as well as it should." And on top of all that, the White House has had to defend the minimum requirements of the Affordable Care Act, saying that there are existing healthcare plans on the individual market that don't meet those minimum standards and therefore do not qualify. Then, of course, there's the NSA spying problem. It feels like every day another country found out, the USA was spying on you. One of the most recent was the revelation that the United States was collecting communications of allied leaders, including the German Chancellor. Germany, as expected, responded very angrily, saying that their trust in the country was shaken. But it's what came next that drew the largest criticism. The Obama administration claimed Barack Obama had no idea that this was happening, which I have to agree with the people on the left and the right criticizing, saying that's even more terrifying. Peter King saying, "I think that's almost a more serious issue, that something like that at that level would be conducted without him knowing it." And in response to all this, President Obama has told the NSA to curtail the eavesdropping on allies. That said, the full extent of the eavesdropping on people in the UN is not known. Does that mean you're dialing it down from a 3 to a 2, or a 10 to a 9, or a 10 to a 1? And finally, Benghazi is in the news again. That, of course, the attack on the US diplomatic compound, which left the US ambassador to Libya and 2 other Americans dead. Reason being is Senator Lindsey Graham of South Carolina threatened to hold up administration nominations over the issue, saying, "I'm going to block every appointment in the United States Senate until the survivors are being made available to Congress. I'm tired of hearing from people on TV and reading about stuff in books. We need to get to the bottom of this." So, not sunshine and happy days for Obama, and it'll be very interesting to see how they handle it, if they do. Perhaps Obama doesn't know people are talking about this. But Nation, I think that's where I'm gonna end today's show and bring us back to the lighthearted question of the day. Do you believe that Project Aura / phone blocks could be a potential thing in the future? Would you buy one? Or is that too much micromanaging? You are fine with upgrading every 1 to 2 years? I'd love to know what you think and why in the comments down below. And if you're not 100% filled in today, I was also on a table talk that you can check out where I was extremely rude. I made a really, really random weird vlog, and there was other stuff that I liked. Links and annotations as always. Remember to possibly be puzzled with a $100 Amazon gift card. Take the link to this video, pimp it out on your Twitter or Facebook using the hashtag PDS. And a big thanks again to the sponsor of today's show, HostGator.com. Use coupon code PhillyD to save 30% off domains and hosting. But of course, as always, my name's Philip DeFranco. You've just been filled in. I love your faces, and I'll see you tomorrow.